One day, I was streaming live in the living room when someone knocked on the front door. I opened it and saw a strange, tiny man standing there with a creepy smile on his face, and he smelled really good. He said, "Hi, I'm Noah. I'm looking for your dad. Is he home?" I replied, "No, he's out there looking for a stupid job." I was about to close the door in his face when he suddenly pushed it back open. I screamed. I thought he was going to hurt me. He took off his glasses and told me to stay calm. He looked a lot less intimidating without his glasses on, and his face was softer. I said, "Okay, come on in." The man sat on the couch and said, "I know you don't remember me, Olivia, but I know you." And then he took out an onion from his pocket, smelled it, and took a bite. This was crazy. I demanded that he tell me who he was, but suddenly I heard noises outside. I knew it was my family. I didn't want them to think I'd done something stupid by letting a stranger in, so I took the man's hand and pushed him into the nearby shoe closet. I gave him a $100 bill and told him to wait there. I locked the closet and left. After a few hours, while we were having dinner, Dad said that he had an announcement to make. "Well, I can't thank God enough for giving me another chance to reunite with my—" "I'm going to Harvard," I interrupted Dad. They all glared at me and burst out laughing. Then the annoyed Emily said, "Did they name the new mall Harvard?" I was about to hit her when Isabel, my oldest sister, and the one who was always on my side, stopped me and calmed me down. Dad said, "Don't be ridiculous. Olivia is plenty smart enough to go to Harvard." Mom asked if I even got accepted and when. Dad said, "Oh, not yet. I've contacted one of the best private tutors in town. His name is Noah. He's going to help Olivia get ready for her entrance test. Oh, he was supposed to arrive today. I wonder why he hasn't called." What? Everyone stared at me, and by the looks on their faces, I could tell they knew something was wrong. Emily said, grinning, "What did you do, Olivia?" I ran to the shoe closet and opened it. The tutor came out, looking furious. He said, "There's no way I'm going to teach this crazy girl. I'm out of here." And he left. I said, "Okay, just take another $100 and stay." But he stormed off. My sister started laughing at me, but Dad stood up for me. He said that he would find some online courses to help me out, and he dragged me to my bedroom to start studying. I don't know what Emily told you guys, but you need to know that I'm smarter than her, smarter than everyone in this family, smarter in a different way. I studied day and night. When we finally got the letter, Dad and I made sure to open it secretly. I was shocked when I was rejected. I was mad and told Dad that there was no way my sisters could know about this. He said they wouldn't. We agreed that we would just tell them that I got accepted, and on the day I was supposed to leave, I would just hide in the attic. I'd come back down after a couple of months when the semester was over. I wanted the basement instead of the attic, but the basement was already full of my other 4 adopted sisters' stuff. They refused to live with us, but never mind. That's another story for another video. The following day, we told everyone that I got accepted. No one believed it. Dad showed them a fake letter, and the look on their faces was priceless. The day after, Dad threw a party, and when it was all over, he said he was going to drive me to the airport. We just hung out until everyone went to bed. When Dad and I got back home, he made sure to give me everything I needed and told me he was proud of me for being so brave. I didn't feel brave, though. I felt sad because I was going to miss my Instafans now. I spent a few days in the attic, and actually it was pretty nice. Not like I'd expected. Dad would come and give me food and all, and I was just posting pictures on Insta and taking a break from all the jerk guys out there. Everything was great, till one morning when I saw Emily and Sophia from the attic window. Sophia is my youngest sister and is usually a sleepyhead. I was surprised that she was up so early. I heard Emily say, "Now that Olivia's gone, we can finally do it." Sophia nodded, and both laughed like evil stepsisters. What were they talking about? Just then, my dad entered, looking terrified. He said he'd had a fight with Mom, and she wanted him to go to the attic until God knows when. I said that was insane. It might get us exposed. Dad agreed and said, "But what your mom said was even more insane. She said that Isabella ran away with her loser ex-boyfriend last night and left her baby daughter with us." I said that Isabella was a grown-up and she always made stupid mistakes, so what's new? I told him about Emily and Sophia. He said he would stay with me to investigate. Dad stayed with me for the next 2 days, and it was crazy. Mom would come up and give him food and leave, and I would hide under the bed. Once she came in and whispered to Dad, Hey, listen, about Olivia. Dad interrupted her and said that they would talk about it later, but Mom ignored him and said, No, listen, I'm thinking we should. Dad then put his fingers in his ears and started singing la 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 la, so I wouldn't hear what Mom was talking about. Mom got mad and left. I got up and demanded to know what they were talking about. Dad pretended he didn't hear me and left, just like that. What was going on in this family? One night, I got a message from my boyfriend. Hey, I'm on campus. Where are you? What? Man, I broke up with him a week ago on purpose just to avoid this moment. What's wrong with boys these days? I sent him a picture of me studying. As if. I wrote, I don't have time for you right now. I have to study. He replied, Thank God. Finally. I was only with you because of the money and fame. See ya. What? But I broke up with him first. Whatever. I'll get a new boyfriend as soon as I'm out of the attic. The next day, I decided to sneak out and look for anything to help me understand what everyone was talking about. I knew it was crazy, but curiosity was getting the better of me. I opened the attic door, and there were Isabella and her loser boyfriend, Brad, laughing and whispering. They froze when they saw me. We stared at each other for a moment. I knew exactly what to say. I gathered up my courage and said, Listen, sister, I love you, but
I think you're gonna wanna see this.
no, this loser can't share the attic with me. Go hide him somewhere else. They both stared at me in shock, and then Isabella said, Aren't you supposed to be at college? I broke down and confessed everything. I told her about Emily and Sophia, and Mom and Dad too. Isabella looked away and stuttered, no, it's probably nothing. I think we should probably go now. She grabbed Brad's hand and started to leave. I snatched her hand, got on my knees, and begged her to tell me the truth. I'll give you my room. I already took it. Sorry, sis. And with that, they left. I didn't know what to do. I was very confused and lonely. How could a popular influencer feel this lonely? I got an idea. I prepared my study corner and started a live video. Hey guys, long time no see. Yeah, I'm busy with my studies. It's hard being smart all the time. Oops, gotta go. Bye. Oh my God, did this just happen? I texted my dad and told him to come up immediately. He came running and said, What's going on? Dad, I think it's that time of the month. I'm not prepared. Dad looked completely shocked and obviously didn't understand what I was talking about. I told him I needed sanitary products. Dad was still looking shocked and just froze in place. I yelled, Dad, just do something. Yes, honey, I'll do something, he said while running down the stairs. Minutes later, I heard Dad coming towards the door and a voice behind him saying, Dad, what are you doing? And what are you holding? That annoying Emily. She just can't stop showing up everywhere. Dad laughed nervously and said it was nothing, and they both left. A minute later, he sent a message that said, I'm sorry. Try to figure something out. I'm taking everyone out to the backyard. I decided to sneak into my room. I found Brad's underwear on my bed. Ew, so disgusting. Next to his clothes, Isabel's baby was sleeping, and I got a very smart idea. I decided to take her with me into the attic. Isabella had stolen my room. I would steal her daughter. We were even now. She'd been my favorite sister, but she'd decided to start this war. Actually, having a baby wasn't as bad as I thought. She was adorable. An hour later, I heard my mom screaming, Where's the baby? Everyone was running around, and I could feel how nervous and anxious they were. The baby was asleep peacefully next to me under a blanket. Dad came in looking terrified and asked if I had seen the baby. Can you see a baby in here? No. And he just left. Minutes later, they all left the house to look for the baby. I got my chance and went downstairs, just to look for anything to understand what my family was up to. I got to the kitchen and saw a cake on the table and things like candles, balloons, and presents. My birthday was tomorrow. They were planning to surprise me at the campus? I was thrilled. But a voice inside me said, No. Wait, Olivia, you know your sisters. They aren't that sweet. I told that voice to shut up and stop ruining the moment for me. I heard noises coming from outside. I knew that my family had come back. I ran up to the attic immediately. I took the baby in my arms and ran to the window. I opened it and yelled, Guys, I love you so very much. They all looked startled and froze for a second. Isabella screamed, "Give me back my baby!" "Oh, come on, you left her first." Then Emily said, "So you've been in the attic this whole time? You didn't go to college at all?" "Oh, your high IQ didn't help you figure that out sooner? But never mind. I don't want to fight. I'm really grateful to you guys for planning this surprise party for me." Sophia said, "What are you talking about? I'm smarter than her. I would never fake an acceptance letter and stay in the attic for months. That's just so dumb." I was about to jump on her when Dad stopped me and said that Samantha and I were going to share the same room. I got mad and said, "Why doesn't she stay in the attic then?" Sophia declared, "Oh God, another story from My Story Animated." Mom said angrily, No more stories for that channel. We are a happy family." I couldn't believe I was going to share a room with Samantha. She put all her fancy clothes and stuff on the bed and said, "This room is way too tiny for all my things. You can use Olivia's space for now," Mom said while holding a fancy red dress Samantha gave her. I was furious and said that wasn't going to happen. Mom glared at me and left. Samantha just couldn't stop giving everyone gifts. She gave Isabella a box of fancy makeup and perfumes, Emily the newest laptop, and Sophia a stupid pillow with a special message, and she thought it was the best gift ever. How dumb is that? Samantha also thought that we needed a new car, so she bought one. Then she made Brad our driver, and the loser was more than happy to do it. Everyone started worshiping Samantha. I decided to talk to Dad about this. I found him in the living room and said, "Dad, we need to talk. It's about Samantha." Samantha suddenly appeared and said she had something important to ask. She said she was having a party with her Insta fans tonight. She took out a stack of money and handed it to Dad and said, "I need your help organizing everything, Daddy." Dad nodded his head, got up immediately, and left with Samantha, like I didn't even exist. That night, around 200 people came to our backyard, and Samantha threw the craziest party ever. My ex-boyfriend was there, and he started hitting on Samantha. She didn't care even though she knew he was my ex. I'd had enough. I left the party and went back to the attic. Let little, wonderful Samantha enjoy it all. They only liked her because of her money. I opened the attic window and yelled to them to turn off the music because I needed some rest. Then Emily said, "What are you doing up there? Is that your new college?" I said, "No, I'm staying up here while you guys enjoy having a new, wealthy, spoiled sister." Sophia said, "Oh, that's so cool." I shut the window angrily and went to bed. When the party was over, I could hear my family talking about buying a new house. Samantha said, "This house is too small for us. I want you guys to move with me to the beach house, and we can have parties all the time." Everyone cheered and clapped. I went down and yelled at them that I wasn't going to leave the house. Then Samantha said, "And who said you were invited? I'm not taking you to my house." I threw a book at her, but it missed. Then Dad stood between us. He said, "There's no way I'm going to leave Olivia alone." "Fine," Samantha said. "You can stay with her." Everyone agreed with her and left. I hugged Dad and cried on his chest. The next day, while I was in the attic, I heard Samantha and Emily talking in the backyard. They were sitting on the ground while Sophia was asleep with that stupid pillow. Samantha said, "I'm so excited for you guys to move into the beach house. You're just going to love it there." Emily said, "I'm sure we will. Also, sis, I have a great idea to make sure Olivia stays away from us." That Emily. She was always...
We believe in the power of helping hands. Teamwork that works. So you can find ways to stay close.
Against me, Emily said, "We'll get a restraining order against her. She'll have to stay 100 feet away from us." They both cackled in delight, and it made me so angry. Fine, if living in a fancy beach house meant so much to them, they could all go. At least I had Dad. The whole day, everyone was in a frenzy, running around and packing their stuff, while I sulked in the attic. In the evening, when they all seemed ready to leave, Mom called me downstairs to say goodbye to everyone. I kept my poker face on, but inside, I felt really sad. I couldn't believe they were actually all leaving, including Isabella. Emily said with a smirk, "Oh, just one last thing. I need you to sign this paper." I knew it was the restraining order, and I didn't care. I'd happily stay 1,000,000 feet away from them. Just as I was about to sign, Samantha rushed forward and shouted, "No!" We all stared at her. She broke down in tears. Wow, I didn't think the girl had any feelings. Samantha said, "I'm so sorry. I can't actually do this to my sister." She looked at me, fat tears rolling down her cheeks. "Everyone thinks I'm the lucky twin who got the rich parents and the fancy house. All I've ever wanted was to be with my own parents and sisters. I just did this all because I was jealous, Ollie. I stared at her in disbelief. Did she actually expect me to forgive her after everything she'd done? I said, "Are you joking? Now? After making my life a living hell? No way I'm forgiving you." Sam looked at me awkwardly and stepped closer. I was ready to defend myself, but to my shock, she shoved a box in my face and said, "Here, this is for you." "I'm really sorry, sis." I looked at the box. It was the latest iPhone. Oh my God, she really was sorry. For the first time in my life, I actually felt bad for Sammy. I realized that even though I'd sometimes wanted to kill my annoying sisters, it had been so much fun growing up with them too. I hugged her tight. Mom and Dad dragged us all into one big bear hug and said they were sorry and they'd never realized how lonely Samantha must have been. Dad said, "We all have to stick together, guys. No one's leaving now." Emily said, "Can we still all live together at the beach house, though? I'm sure that's nicer." We all laughed and Samantha turned to me. "Go pack your stuff, Ollie." We moved to our new house and Isabella, Brad, and their daughter got our old house. I was happy for everyone.